The aforementioned next guest is Congressman Michael Waltz of Florida, former Green Beret. You do not mess with Mike. Congressman, what do you think of what's going on and whether, I don't want to get ahead of myself here, whether this delay or whatever you want to call it, or hold off on the part of Iran in the response to these attacks on top Hamas and Hezbollah bigwigs, is clinging to maybe a ceasefire agreement between Hamas and Israel. In other words, could that, if it were secured, delay or maybe make not happen any response by Iran?
Neil, I have a different theory on Iran's delay here, and I think it has everything to do with Israel and Bibi Netanyahu. I think it's Bibi that is deterring Iran right now, because just a few weeks ago, they had a house in the middle of Tehran under the protective umbrella of the IRGC during a presidential inauguration go boom and take out Hamas's political leader, Haniyeh. And that sent a very strong message to the Ayatollahs that if we can get him, despite all of that security, we can get any one of you if you take this too far. And then what happened the last time Iran launched hundreds of drones and missiles at Israel? Israel was asked and pressured to restrain itself by this administration, but they sent a missile in and took out a site right on the cusp of Iran's most secure nuclear facility at Natanz. So I think it's actually been Bibi's strong action that has made Iran think twice. But what is so frustrating to me and so many of us, and I know with President Trump and the Trump administration, if you take a step back, just 4 years ago, ISIS largely defeated. Iran broke, their currency and economy in shambles. In fact, Neil, we had reporting back then that Hezbollah, Hamas, and the Houthis were complaining they weren't getting any money from Iran. And you of course, had the Abraham Accords. And look where we are today. And what Lucas Tomlinson was referring to is China is the ultimate big winner here. They're getting massive amounts of oil and gas on the cheap from Iran. And in return, Iran has the entire Middle East in flames, and once again, our military is sucked in a huge way to another Middle East conflict, to where we're pulling missiles, aircraft carriers, fighters, all out of the Pacific, where they should be deterring China, and are sucked into this conflict in the Middle East that has no end until this administration shifts its Iran policy. As long as Iran is flush with cash, you will not have peace in the Middle East. You will not have stability. And Xi Jinping is smiling all the way to the bank.
You know, maybe Iran isn't flush with as much cash, though, Congressman. I mean, oil prices, ironically, through this, actually dating back to the October 7th Hamas attack on Israel, are down substantially. Now, you would think, given the skittishness, the boosted U.S. naval presence all around the Middle East, that oil prices would be shooting up. They're not. Now, not that they're great telegraphs of activity down the road. Oftentimes, they've missed the boat completely. But what does that tell you? Because that's the currency for so much of what Iran does in funding its proxies, to say nothing of Vladimir Putin, to say indirectly China itself, that is not working out the way they had hoped.
But Neil,
what do you make of it?
Yeah, but Neil, Iran is selling its oil and gas on the black market. There's a whole black market economy, not just for Iran's oil and gas, but also for Russia's, as it pumps it
and that's
through,
what's thriving. That's what you're saying is thriving regardless, right?
That's right. So they're still making great margins. It's fueling their economy. It's fueling terrorism. It's fueling Putin's economy. Another huge point of frustration, we passed secondary sanctions on Chinese buyers of all of this illegal oil, and Schumer won't take it up.
Got it. Congressman, always good seeing you. Thank you as well for your incredible service to this country. We are